After a long shift, me and a coworker ended up sharing a hotel room, and what started off as a simple conversation about life took an unexpected turn. We soon found ourselves in bed with two girls, but what happened after that was totally unexpected. This is my story about how I hooked up with a married woman. This all happened about 6 years ago when I was working as a correctional officer, and I usually worked the evening shift from 2 until 10 p.m. Me and a friend from work, Ed, decided to work overtime at a different prison for a week because him and his wife just had their second child. He needed the money, so being a good friend and extremely bored, I decided to tag along. After work one night, me and Ed get all the paperwork done and then set off to go stay in a hotel that the prison paid for us to stay in. But what they didn't tell us was that we had to share a room. Anyway, me and Ed got to talking about life and things, and we get to the topic of my sex life. At the time, I was just seeing a few girls here and there, nothing special. So Ed said that while we're here, we might as well have some fun. I didn't think much of it and went to bed because we had a long week ahead of us, and we had to work around 15 hours the next day. After work, though, I met up with Ed to head back to the hotel, and he told me that a couple of girls wanted to go grab dinner and a drink. I was all for the four of us going out and letting off some steam after work, and well, one thing led to another, and all of us were back in the hotel room drinking. Ed took Jane, who was one of the girls, to bed, and while they were going at it, I was making moves on her friend, Samantha. While Ed and Jane were going at it, me and Samantha were losing clothes, eventually making it to the bed and having sex. We did this every night for a week until we had to go back home and start back at our unit. On our first day back, Nick, one of my coworkers, asked how the overtime went because he was thinking of doing some, which is when Ed chimed in and told him the story about the girls we met. Nick looked at me and started asking questions about the girl, what she was like, and some other things. After that, he paused and asked if she had a tattoo on her leg. I was shocked at his question, but before I could even answer, he asked,
Was her name Samantha by any chance?
Yeah, why?
That's my wife. We got married last month, so we're doing overtime to help our finances get back on track.
Sorry, I didn't know she was married. I left the next day and was forced to work as far away from him as possible. My lieutenant found out about what happened, after which I chose to resign, never finding out what happened after everyone stopped talking to me. This is wild, and at first, I was questioning whether this whole thing is true, but after browsing the comments section, corrections is apparently a cesspool for cheating and affairs, which sounds awfully familiar to being at college, university, or in the military. This kind of lines up with this story as Ed, OP's friend, was also cheating on his partner, despite just having their second child together, a detail that was kind of ignored by OP in this story. Seeing as OP was single and didn't know he was hooking up with his coworker's wife, he didn't do anything wrong, but I wonder what Nick decided to do about this whole thing in the end. Anyway, what do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed today's video on coffee and popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.